depends on their family and the community they're a part of. And that's sometimes very frightening, because what we're finding, and what we're going to talk a little bit more about tonight, is that we're seeing individuals who have large gaps in knowledge, and they're not being told this, and they're not being taught it anywhere. A lot of the work I do is with colleges, actually. And through that work, what I'm finding is when I start to see students who are ages, 17 to 24, they don't learn. Because I think what's happening is they don't learn it as they're growing up. If they're lucky and they have a parent who talks to them about it, fantastic. Generally, the kind of comprehensive sex education they're receiving in school systems is not doing a great job. And so when they turn 18 or when they go to college, what we're finding is they never learned it. It's not like they searched for it, it's not like they looked it up, they heard misinformation, maybe their friends taught them some things, potentially they looked some things online or saw some stuff, but it's really this large gap of knowledge that is showing up in alarming ways. We know things like abstinence-only education actually increases rates of sexual violence, teenage pregnancy, and STIs. Talking about this is not an issue. We know our students are going to explore this or have the conversation on their own, and when we're not equipping them with the tools, what happens is they just figure it out on their own. And that's opening a lot of people to a lot of risk, because we're not giving them opportunities or tools or education around it. Some of the best data we have shows that a very small percentage of individuals would willfully commit sexual violence. It's anywhere from 4 to 6% is usually what we're finding. So there's all these other incidents that are occurring for people who sometimes don't think they are perpetrating sexual violence. That's what they've learned. A lot of it comes down to those gender norms. So this is a huge struggle when we have to think about men and male-identified populations. In the United States, regardless of the gender identity survivor, 90% of incidents of sexual violence are perpetrated by a man. So when it's even both men and females or non-binary. So 90% of incidents of sexual violence are perpetrated by men. Anyone can experience sexual violence. We know that male-identified individuals can be survivors. We know that can happen. But going back to that statistic of 90% of assaults are perpetrated by men, and 90% of incidents of sexual violence are perpetrated by men. And specifically, when I say men, I mean cisgender men, the men who are born male. It's really starting to become this, hey, we have to talk about that, because it's this epidemic level of really sexual violence is a man's issue. And until men start caring about it and start breaking down these systems, it's not going to change, right? And it's not going to go away, and it's not going to stop.